Hello and welcome back to the another episode of Daily Quiz for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 23rd September and in this video we are going to derive questions from these important articles which are on this slide. If you are the first time visitor of this channel, then let me introduce this initiative to you guys. Every day in this video we discuss three types of questions. The first set of questions are from the current affairs, which we take from the newspapers. We take up the most important articles from the newspaper. We derive and discuss them in little bit detail, and we derive some prelims based questions from those articles, so that it will give the idea how the questions could come, how the prelims based questions could come from the news articles, and how it will help you connect well with your prelims preparation. So this is the first set of questions which we take from the current affairs. Then the another set of questions which we discuss here is from the static topic. Every day here we discuss some static topic and derive some questions from them, so that it will give the best idea about the things which we need to study for our prelims preparation or for our UPSC exam. So we had started with the Indian polity, and today we are going to further discuss the citizenship, and in this we are going to discuss some important points with respect to article 7, and we are going to discuss it in a prelims question manner, so that you will get the idea how questions from this article 7 can be asked to you guys. And after discussing the static topic, at the end of this session we will discuss few previous year questions, so that it will give the proper idea how the questions do actually come in the exam, and what can be the methods by which you can solve those questions, and how to implement that knowledge in your upcoming exams. So this is all about this initiative. Now, if I was the student like you, what I will do, I would request you guys to do the same. Every day this video is uploaded on this channel. So what I will do, I will start recording these questions. At least I will note these questions somewhere. I will develop my own question bank. When my exams would be near next year in May, what I will do, I will have to, that time I will have to revise the current affairs of the whole year, and it would be practically impossible for every student, because we have to go through the different materials then, and the time does not permit us to do so. So what will I do, I will develop my own question bank. When my exams would be near, I will just read those questions, so that it will give me the idea what was actually what was happening this whole year, and it will boost my confidence while solving those questions before entering the exam hall. This would be my approach towards my current affairs. So I would like to recommend you guys, please do the same. It would be very much beneficial for you, and also please do watch the full video. This may seem boring, but this is very much informative for you, and it would be very much helpful for you, trust me on that. And another thing which I would like to request you guys, please do subscribe the channel and share this video with your friends, so that they may also get benefited from this initiative. We work so hard on these things. When you subscribe, when you share, or when you write in the comments, it motivates us to work more hard on it. Please do write in the comments what else should we bring for you. We are here to help you. Write in the comments what else should we bring for you. We will definitely oblige by that. We will bring that to you guys. Thank you for staying here. Now with this, let's have a look at the topics which we have to discuss today, from which we are going to discuss the questions. The first article which was in the news is about the unwarranted curbs. We have the Information Technology Act 2000. It has been, with respect to this Information Technology Act 2000, there had been different rules given by the government of India, and especially with respect that we have amendments to these rules, especially the recent amendment, which is amendment of 2023. In this amendment, the Press Information Bureau, it works under the Press Information Bureau. We have the Press Information Bureau, which works under the control of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Under this, there is a fact check unit. What this fact check unit will do, according to the amendment 2023. With respect to this fact check unit, it was already introduced in 2009, so it is not something new, but it was legalized to do some things in 2023 amendment. What were those things which this fact check unit was to do? It has to do. It has to flag if any news or any video or any information seen online is fake. It will flag it. If it is false, it will flag it, or if it is misleading, it will flag it. Now, what is the concern with respect to this? Before we go to the concern, we should know about the concept which is called the safe harbor concept, safe harbor protection. What does this mean? For example, I have a media. Right now I'm using YouTube, and for example, I will upload some video which is disturbing on the YouTube. Some video, for example, I will upload a video which is against the government itself. I am way much criticizing the government, or I am going against the government norms. So for this video, there is a safe harbor for the YouTube. YouTube can't be taken to the court, because it is not the YouTube which is uploading it, it is me. So what this safe harbor protection means, that I will be held for those mistakes which I do, rather than the YouTube. But in the 2023 amendments, what the government did, that once any news is flagged false, misleading, or fake, then these intermediaries, for example YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, what they have to do, or Twitter, they have to remove that from their platform. If they don't remove that information from the platform, they will be held liable, and the safe harbor protection will be taken off from them. So with respect, this is the case went to the courts. The Bombay High Court earlier, there were two judge bench, which gave the split decision with respect to it. According to one judge, it is legal, and according to another judge, it was unconstitutional. Then the Supreme Court recommended that there should be third judge bench, and with respect to that, the Bombay High Court, it called this provision totally illegal. It called it this amendment with respect to the fact check, with respect to this fact check unit, is totally unconstitutional, because it can be violated by the government. It is against the Article 19, which gives you the freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So with respect to this fact check unit, the amendments brought in 2023 were laid unconstitutional by the Bombay High Court. So this was all in nutshell about this article here. There are some some points which were given by the government with respect to that, but they are very much minute, and they don't affect the their value is not that much with respect to the courts, because the most important thing which our constitution respects here is that you should be able to speak whatever you want. Yes, it is absolutely that there are reasonable restrictions, but in those reasonable restrictions, the terms like false, misleading are not mentioned there. If, for example, if any news which can violate the security of the country, which can violate the peace of the country, then only that can be restricted. False, misleading, or fake is not one of the concern of the restriction on the freedom of speech and expression under Article 19. So with respect that, the High Court of the Bombay, it said that it is totally unconstitutional. So this was about the first article in the newspaper. So with respect to that, we will discuss some question for your prelims preparation, and it will give you the better idea about it. Another article which was in the news is about the Quad, as it has launched it has launched Maritime Health Initiative. The Quad Summit has been held in USA. Actually, it was going to be held in India, but USA asked India to swap its terms, and India agreed to it, because in USA there are various summits which were about to held in this month itself. For example, UNGA summit and the UN Future Summit also. So US asked India that they should shift this year's summit to US, and India agreed. So they should and India agreed to swap this year's term. So in this, in this Quad, Quad, it has launched Maritime Health Initiative. It has also condemned aggression in disputed regions. And about the Quad, we should note that who are the members. It is USA, it is Japan, it is Australia, and it is India. When it was formed, it was actually formed in 2004 after the Indian Ocean tsunami. This led to the formation of this squad, which collaborated together in helping the area in providing the essential necessities which were needed there. But in 2008 it was dissolved, and then it was because of the concerns raised by the China, because China looked at it as an Indian Indian NATO, Indian subcontinent's NATO. And so with respect that, India did not want it to hurt China's feelings. In the simpler terms, we can say that India did not want it to hurt India's relationship with China, so that India, did not want this Quad to be the military organization. So with respect to that, India has always opposed it. And here, with respect to the Quad, there are various criticisms. For example, the critics say that here the Quad, we sign different agreements, but they are least important. What they should shift, they want Quad to, it should be looked as a military bloc against China, as it is perceived by the world, as it is perceived by the China itself. So there is nothing wrong that it should be looked as the military bloc. But India has always India does not want Quad to become Asia's NATO. India does not want Quad to be the military alliance against China, because India has its own and separate foreign policy of non-alignment. So India looks at it differently. There are some concerns with that too. That is the point of discussion for the future. And here, what do we need to know with basic knowledge about Quad, which we should know, and what are the what are the various agreements which had been signed this year. For example, Maritime Health Initiative, what else they discussed in the Quad. So we will solve a few prelims based question on that. Similarly, with respect to Quad, we have another organization which is a military organization in Indo-Pacific, that is OX. So we will solve a question with respect to that too, to give you the better information about that. Then there was another article. It's about the new threat to air passenger safety. We had seen in the Israel-Gaza war. Now it has shifted to Lebanon, where pagers had exploded. It is said that it is Israel which is behind it. So here the author raises the concerns: what if similar war tactics can be used against the India also, or against, and it can impact the air safety? For example, we are importing foods from different areas, from different places. What if such from different countries, especially China? For example, I am not here, I am just giving you an assumption here. For example, what if China decides to go for the war against India, and they did this supply chain war tactic with India, and similarly this can impact the air safety. So here the author here wants to express his concern with respect to the air safety, how this war tactic can be used to damage the air safety of the country, air passenger safety of the country. So this is what which the country should look into, because the world is changing, trends in the war is changing. We had seen recent tactics in Lebanon also, where Hezbollah militants were attacked, civilians were killed there because of these new war tactics, supply chain tactics. So this can also be implemented by our enemies, and it can impact the country. So with respect to that, the author wants to raise a question with respect to the air safety of the passengers. Then another article, it was about the appointment of a new president in Sri Lanka, who is a Marxist leader. He has been elected as a president of Sri Lanka. It has been here in Sri Lanka, earlier there were different governments, and their relationship with China was different, their relationship with India was different. Now the question here arises: what would be the approach of the new leader? How he will look into the different matters? For example, there has been India's involvement in with respect to the amendment 13 of the Sri Lankan constitution, in which there were given it provided for the provinces for the Tamilians living there. Similarly, because of the help of the India, they were able to go for, मतलब कि इधर because of the interference from India, this then Sri Lankan government, they gave the 13th amendment, but the leader who is presently who has been elected as a president, he was then against it. So it raises a question how he will take care of it, how whether he is going to revoke the earlier constitution or he will stay with it, and what will his approach be towards India, and what will his approach be towards China, as China is trying its best to curb the India's impact in the Indian Ocean. So this would be very much interesting for India to how Sri Lanka will perceive its relations with India and China. So with respect to that, this article was here, and with respect to India and China relations, we will solve a prelims based question. Then at the end there was another article. It is about the controversy regarding the Venezuela, as there it is very basic and core concept. Presidential elections was there, and it was supposed that particular person his name is something Gonzalez. He has according to the people, he has won the elections, but according to the election commission there, it is the different person who was granted the victory symbol. His name is Nicolas Maduro. He was given the victory symbol, and there is a concern with respect to that whether he actually won or not. The US, they have not good relations with him, and similarly there are other countries who had congratulated him. So this is basic controversy there. But here there is a different concept also. If we will look at the Venezuela, we will look at the economic condition there, it is basically a petro state, and it depends hugely on petroleum exports. So and this is the major source of economy for them. So when a country is so much dependent on the petroleum exports, it leads to a problem. It leads to the concept which is known as the Dutch disease, which we will discuss in the questions. So this is what we need to know: the over dependence on the petroleum, and which leads to the increasing as they import, as the money which they receive is in dollars, it leads to the increasing the value of their currency. When their currency value increases, it what it does, the other sectors don't have that competitive advantage, and they get solely dependent on one sector of the economy. And this concept in nutshell is called the Dutch disease. We will understand that concept much more in much detail in the question sense, so that it will give you the proper idea. So this was the last article with respect to the current affairs. At the end, we will solve a question with respect to citizenship, Article 7, and finally we will solve a few questions from the previous years too, so that it will give you the proper idea how the questions do come in the exam and what can be the methods to solve them. Now with this, I hope you had understood the context behind the questions which we are going to discuss now. I hope you had understood it. Now let's try to solve questions one by one. Here the first question is, it says, with reference to the safe harbor provisions in the Information Technology Amendment Bill 2023, consider the following statement. So now let's try to understand the safe harbor provisions with respect to this question. The first statement: the safe harbor concept provides legal protection to social media intermediaries against liability for user generated content. 100% correct. This fact check unit, what will it do? It will flag any content as false, fake or misleading, and this will give the safe harbor to the intermediaries, as if once flagged by the fact check unit, they will have to remove it. If according to the amendment bill 2023, if they won't remove it, then this safe harbor protection will be taken away from those intermediaries. So with respect to this question, the first statement is correct. Coming to the second statement, it says, under the proposed amendments, intermediaries are required to proactively monitor and remove illegal content to qualify for safe harbor protection. 100% correct. Statement 3, the safe harbor provisions are intended to encourage more robust content moderation by social media platforms. This is not correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1 and statement 2 only. So by discussing this question, you had got better idea about the safe harbor protection, and you are and what was in the news, had got the context of it also. So with this, let's move to the different question here. It says it is about the code. We had solved many questions with respect to code. Now let's go to the basics of the code. Let's see what are the countries which are the part of it. Here the question says the code or quadrilateral security dialogue is a strategic forum comprising which of the following countries, and the options are India, Japan, Australia and United States. All the four are its members. So the correct statement is option B, which is all the four, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now another question, as I told you, we are going to discuss another question which is AUKUS, which is a trilateral security pact involving which of these countries are involved in it. Let us see. Australia is part of it, United Kingdom is part of it, United States is part of it. Is Canada part of it? No, Canada is not part of it. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option A, which is 1, 2 and 3 only. And about AUKUS, we should know it is a security pact between Australia, the United Kingdom and the United States, which is aimed at enhancing military cooperation, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region. So this is the correct for this question, the correct statement is option A. I hope you had understood it. You had got the basic idea about the AUKUS, as it is the military corporation, a trilateral security pact. It is a military corporation between Australia, United Kingdom and United States. Now with this, let's move to the another question. Here it says which of the following, as the question says, which of the following authorities is primarily responsible for ensuring air safety in India? Is it Directorate General of Civil Aviation? Is it Airport Authority of India? Is it Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, or is it Ministry of Civil Aviation? If we will look at the question, it says which is primarily responsible. It is then the option A, which is Directorate General of Civil Aviation. It is the primarily responsible for ensuring air safety in India. And Airport Authority and Bureau of Civil Aviation, they have separate roles to play with respect to the ensuring air safety in India. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option A, which is 1 only. So with this, why we had taken this question, because we had read the article about the air safety issues with respect to the modern technological warfare, that safety chain warfare, which was used by Israel, allegedly used by Israel in Lebanon. Now with this, let's move to the another question. It says which of the following statements accurately describe the relationship between Sri Lanka and India? The first statement: India was the first country to recognize Sri Lanka's independence in 1948. 100% correct. Statement 2: India and Sri Lanka have signed the Indo-Sri Lanka Free Trade Agreement to promote bilateral trade. 100% correct. Statement 3: the ethnic conflict in Sri Lanka has led to significant Indian military involvement in the region. Even though Indian involvement has been there, but it is not that significant. So here statement 3 here what we get from statement 3, it becomes more broader statement. So statement 3 becomes incorrect here. If it would have said like in certain time or in certain region, then it would have been correct. But statement 3, it becomes more broader statement, and statement 3 becomes incorrect. Coming to statement 4, both countries collaborate in the field of fisheries management and maritime security. 100% correct. Here with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 3 and statement 4 only. And from the code given below, the correct code is correct code is option C, 1, 2 and 4. Now with this, let's move to the last question from the current affairs. It talks about the Dutch disease. We discussed it. Now let us see. The term Dutch disease refers to, first statement, the negative economic impact that occurs when a country experiences a resource boom leading to a decline in other sectors. 100% correct. Statement 2, the phenomenon where increased foreign direct investment causes a rise in domestic currency. 100% correct. Making exports less competitive. 100% correct. This is also one of the effect of the Dutch disease. It is related to Dutch disease. Statement 3, the inflationary pressure resulting from excessive government spending in the wake of natural resources discoveries. Also, this is also correct, because they spend on they are excessively spending on the petroleum. Here it is with respect to Venezuela. So statement 3 is also correct. Statement 4, the environmental degradation caused by over reliance on natural resources. No, this is totally incorrect. It has nothing to do with the Dutch disease. So here, with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 2, and statement 3 only. And from the code given below, the correct code is option B. Now with this, let's move to the another part of our discussion, which is discussing the static topic. And as we are discussing the citizenship in Indian Constitution, so with respect to that, let's solve this question. Here the question says match the following. We have the articles and what they are related to. Article 5, citizenship at the commencement of the constitution, 100% correct. Article 6, right of citizenship of certain persons who have migrated to India from Pakistan, 100% correct. Article 7, right of citizens of certain migrants to Pakistan, 100% correct. Article 8, right of citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin residing outside India, 100% correct. So with respect to this question, all the four are correctly matched. So with this, I hope you had got the basic idea. You know, we are discussing the citizenship from last few days. You had got the idea what are the various ways a person can acquire the citizenship. So here we are getting the basic idea about the articles related to the citizenship. After we discuss these articles, then we will take another separate class about the new amendments with respect to the citizenship and conclude that. So here, what do you need to know about these articles and what are they related to? After this, let's move to the last part of our discussion, which is discussing the previous year questions. Here, the first question, it says, at the time of independence, Mahatma Gandhi was a member of Congress Working Committee. No. The President of Congress? No. The General Secretary of the Congress? No. Option B, not a member of Congress, 100% correct, because he was involved in Calcutta where he tried his best to stop the communal violence there. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option B. Now coming to the last question of today's discussion, it says Abhinava Bharat, a secret society of revolutionaries, was organized by. So this secret society of revolutionaries was organized by, was it organized by Khodiram Bose, was it organized by Prafulla Chakki, was it organized by Bhagat Singh, or was it organized by V.D. Savarkar? So the correct option to this question is option B. It was organized by V.D. Savarkar. So with this, we conclude today's discussion. I hope you would like the video. I hope you would share it with your friends, and I truly hope that you will watch till the end. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. I hope you will succeed in your next exam. Thank you.